All right, good morning, everybody. This is Greg Town with GT Training Systems, and today's podcast or webinar, depending on how you're viewing this, is becoming a social media rock star. Uh, Bear with me for a second here as I turn my phone to silent and stuff. Just realized I hadn't done that yet this morning and stuff. So, want to welcome you. Want to thank you for coming on today or this morning's webinar or podcast with us, depending on how you're viewing this presentation and stuff. I recognize about half the names on the list, and the other half, we have not met yet and stuff. So, for those of you that have shared our link and shared our free presentation today, I thank you. That's probably one of the best ways that you can help us and stuff. A lot of times I'll have people ask me, "What can I do to help?" You do so much to help. You've done so much to help me grow my business, or you did so much to help me close this deal. What do I do to help you? What can I do to help you? And I tell them, it's like, by sharing our contact information, by sharing our content, by sharing our trainings and stuff. That is absolutely how you can definitely help us and stuff. So with that, it is let's kind of lock and load. And let's talk a little bit about what we're going to accomplish today. So all right. Okay, here we go. Structure for today's webinar and stuff. I'm going to do a quick introduction about myself. As I said, I recognize about half the names out there and stuff. The other half I don't quite don't recognize. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself, a little bit about my business and what we do and stuff. Do about 45 to 60 minutes of absolutely awesome on-target training. It is we're going to go really, really in depth in talking about social media. And I always tell people, the funny little thing about social media, and this is where I upset a lot of the other quote unquote gurus out there, is social media is not about likes. It's not about shares. It's not about retweets. It's not about any of that stuff. All that other stuff is crap. It's bullshit. Basically, you know what social media is about? It's about building connections. And so we're going to go really, really in depth as far as how to build those connections and how to basically build business off of those connections and stuff. We're going to do a quick introduction to our advanced training starting September 7th, which is just coming around the corner here next week. Don't worry, there is no pressure. I'm not the type of guy that's going to basically do high pressure sales, or as many of you know, I've got a background in real estate. That's one of my, what I joke lovingly refer to as my 2.5 businesses and stuff. And it seems like in real estate, we're always getting pitched. We're always having trainers coming in, and they've done what I hate, which is actually what I refer to as the dangling the carrot philosophy and stuff, where they're literally dangling the carrot in front of us, and it's like they promise a training session, they come in, they dangle a carrot, and then you have to fly to I don't know Anaheim, California, or Las Vegas, Nevada, or someplace to actually get the carrot and stuff. And I don't believe in that. My belief is I'm going to give you guys the most awesome in-depth training. And then, I'm going to, go as deep as, go as deep and, deep and thorough as we possibly can. And, for those of you that say, hey, I want to take my training to the next level, I want to take my business to the next level, I want to learn more, definitely, we've got a great training company and stuff. I hope that you come into, I hope you look at the trainings that we have to offer and stuff. And if you say, and especially if you say, hey, I know somebody that, or my team needs or something of that aspect, then that's awesome fun stuff. But if you sit there and go, hey, I'm, my cup is full, I'm good right now, I'm going to take what I hear and I'm going to apply it, and then once I get my business up to the next level and stuff, then I'm going to come see you and stuff. I'm cool with that too and stuff. So give you ways to reach out to me, and stay connected with us. Stay connected, get more free training and stuff. And then question answer, and I'm going to answer all your questions in depth. We can talk about social media, we can talk about business development, we can talk about lead generation. Many of you guys know I'm very, very passionate on health and wellness, very, very big on that. You can talk about that aspect and stuff. So any questions you have, feel free to just dump them in the chat box over here on the side and stuff. I've already minimized it on my screen stuff because I get a little ADD, and if I see a question pop up, I may go off on a tangent or something of that aspect and stuff. So You know, we're going to go in, we're going to go in depth and stuff for you guys. I see a lot of people on here today, or from that I know, are in the sales world and stuff. And I always like to tell people, it's like, even in sales, like just because you work for a company, you are still your own business. The value, the wonderful thing. I was actually talking to a good friend of mine yesterday about this, and the cool, awesome thing about sales is every morning you go out and you have the choice. Do I make $0 an hour above my base, or do I make thousands of dollars an hour above my base today? And the fact that you're brave enough to step into the world of sales, is an absolute awesome thing and stuff. So with that, let me tell you a little bit about myself. Who is Greg Town? Well, I'm one of the top producing real estate brokers for Washington State. In 2016, I was awarded one of the top 10 real estate brokers by the American Institute of Real Estate Professionals. I'm also a published author. I've published the book, becoming the friend of the business, going from salesperson to trusted advisor. And how that came about is when I had a friend of mine that said something to the effect of, Greg, I do business with you because you're my friend first, my realtor second. And the magical light bulb went up above my head when that was said. And what happened was I kind of went to my team and I said, hey guys, let's look into this, because if you think about normal real estate business, normal realtors, it's an extremely transactional type of business. And the reason it's extremely transactional is because when somebody has bought their house or when somebody has sold their house, escrow cuts the commission checks. Here in Washington State, the brokerage, the firm cuts the commission check, takes in the commission check. The firm or the brokerage cuts the commission check to the realtor or the broker or the agent that performed the services. And that's it. It's not like in the insurance world where you have renewables and you have, there should be a very, very good reason why insurance producers and stuff stay in contact, and they actually do a better job of following up than most realtors I know. And the reason is because, they have renewables and stuff. They have a book of business they want to protect. Well, I went to my team and I said, let's get us away from the transactional side of this business. Let's get us more into the relationship side of this business. And, we started having phenomenal results. So much so that our lending partners, all of a sudden we're sitting there going, okay, because most lenders and stuff, most lenders will not work with just one real estate broker. And the reason is because if they work just purely and solely with one real estate broker, it's almost kind of like putting all your eggs in one basket. And, and also the dynamics of the fact is, lenders typically make less money per transaction than the realtor does. But as when my lending partners complain about that, I quickly point out that we handle, the majority of the time, the real estate broker side of it. We handle the lead generation, and we typically have a lot more time invested into the client and stuff when you take a look at man hours and stuff, as opposed to the lender and stuff. And but all of a sudden our lending partners sit there and go, okay, these realtors, they're producing a lot more business. What are they doing? So we started working with them and started training them on what we were doing. Well, that led to insurance agents, because everybody that buys a house, if you're getting financing, you're going to need insurance. Well, all of a sudden these insurance brokers were sitting there going, my binder request, which is basically a policy, for lack of a better word, is increasing by these group of lenders over here. And, if you think about it, insurance brokers, with home insurance and stuff, they make less per transaction than the lender does, so which makes less per transaction than the realtor does. So all of a sudden they'll notice how these, so they need to work with a lot more lenders and stuff. So all of a sudden they realized that these lenders and stuff were their binder requests was huge out of these lenders and stuff. So they reached out to me and said, hey, what are you guys doing? How are you generating this much business and stuff? And it was from there that led me into to seeing the need to write the book. And from writing that book, it actually put me into a speaking and training platforms for multiple professions and multiple industries. As I typically, reference to, is I work best with professionals that have to be absolutely, wonderful and stunning pros in the service of performing, the service that they provide for their customers or their clients. But they also have that second hat that they have to wear, and that second hat is the fact that they have to go out and they have to market and they have to promote and they have to lead generate and they actually have to go and, for lack of a better word, create business noise so that they can go find the customers and clients that will basically, so they can go provide their products and perform their services and stuff. So I've taken the same business platform and training, and it has gone over into, obviously the professions that I just talked about. It's also transferred over into the attorney's world, financial planners, dentists, chiropractors, massage therapists. Really, if you look at it, I mean, even landscapers have taken this training and have grown immensely from it and stuff. So, what it really boils down to is, and as I said, anybody that's responsible for basically doing their own lead generation on top of the product or the service that they provide for their customers. And the other aspect is I'm a small business owner. As I tell you, I own 2.5 companies and stuff. I am right there, right alongside with you. I know what it feels like when things are going great, and I know what it feels like when everything is crashing around you and everything's going to crap. And it is, trust me, everything's a lot more better when you've got things going well. What I'm going to tell you what I am not just a training company. As part of the reason why I joined forces and we opened up GT Training Systems and stuff was because in the real estate, as I go say, in the real estate world, we have a whole bunch of trainers and a whole bunch of these quote-unquote gurus that have never done anything of selling a product or a service outside of their own training products. They're not in the trenches day in and day out like you and I are. It is, as I tell people, it's like, okay, like some of my counterparts and stuff, what they'll do is they'll see something in a blog or they'll see something like in a podcast or something of that aspect, and they go, wow, that's a really great idea. We're going to put that into our next training session and stuff. And the problem is they haven't vetted it. They haven't tweaked it. They haven't taken ownership of it. So unlike those people, it's like when I see something or I hear something or I read something, I go, that I like that. That makes sense. Let's tweak that. Basically, what we do is we take it, we put it into our real estate team because that's that's the closest that we have for a good sales team to the general public and stuff. And so we can work on it. We can tweak it. We're working with multiple different clients at any point in time, so we can kind of test market it, for lack of a better word. Once we've basically perfected it, then what I do is I take it back over into our training company and we train on it. And so, what that means to you is, unlike a lot of other people and stuff that are teaching and training purely off of theory, which is the equivalent of a your high school, your college professor that's that's teaching you business economics, but they've never owned a business before. They're just teaching you purely off of theory. They're teaching purely off of what the book tells them, what the book says and stuff. We've actually taken this and gone into real world experience, and so that we've actually tweaked it and worked with it so that we can, we played with it. So we're coming from real world experience, not just, hey, this sounds really cool on paper and stuff. So with that, how to get the most out of today's webinar. I'm going to tell you, turn off all distractions. Turn off your cell phones, turn off your emails, turn off your little alert poppers and all that other stuff. I really want you to just get a chance to really kind of unplug, and just kind of, so that way we can really dive into the content of this. I mean, we can really get deep into this because there's a lot of cool stuff that you can do with social media. Get out pen and paper, take notes. As I always tell people, listen fast because I talk fast. As long as technology is working with us, we're recording today's session and stuff, as long as technology works with us, those will be uploaded into our YouTube channel in the next couple of days, or in that aspect and stuff. So with that, what is social media? Well, pretty much the correct definition of social media is any website that is used to bring together and connect people with a shared interest. So, a lot of times, and I was actually at a small business expo a couple of weeks ago, and they had a, social media guru there, and I asked him, it's like, hey, just out of curiosity, how many different social media websites are out there? She couldn't answer it. And, and honestly, I don't think anybody could answer it, because if you think about it, we all know the biggies, the Facebooks, the LinkedIns, the Twitters. We all know the, what used to be the biggies, the MySpace, the Friendsters and stuff. But there's also a ton of social media platforms out there that are for people, for specific interests or specific groups of people or specific activities. So I mean, it just, I honestly, I think that there's probably tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of social media groups all out there. And I mean, if you think about it, this is all across the world. This is not just in our own little backyard and stuff. So let's talk about the types of social media. The friends and family social media, what I call the Facebook. This is kind of what I refer to as the, people that are connected with me on Facebook. We're connected more on a personal level than we are anything else. This is typically, and I always warn my clients and stuff, and I tell them, like, through the course, we're probably going to become friends and stuff. But I mean, it is, I utilize Facebook to connect more on a personal level, so people get to know me, not just the professional side of me, but me as in general, that, me as in what I enjoy doing in my downtime and stuff. Then there's the professional level of social media. A lot of times that's LinkedIn. And, it is a lot of times if we're connected on LinkedIn stuff, you're going to see more of my professional postings. You're going to see more of my professional successes. You're not going to see the awesome dinner that I made last night, or you're not going to see the, hey, I'm so excited, I've scaled up in weights at the gym and stuff. You're going to see that on the personal side. You're not going to see that on the professional side. Then you also have what I refer to as, it's more, connected more because of a general interest. And a lot of times I see this with Pinterest and Google Plus, as where people will be more connected because of an interest in, let's say, photography or scuba diving or cooking or yoga or something of that aspect is going to be, is where you're going to, build connections and stuff in those type of platforms. And then there's also industry-specific social media sites. It is, I know within, in real estate, I think it was called Raintree or Raindrop or something like that. It used to be a free one. Now it's a paid social media site and stuff. But I've seen several social media platforms and stuff for people that are within a specific type of industry. Let's say like computers and IT, or even in the broadcasting arena and stuff. This is a platform for those people that work within that particular type of industry to connect. It's like myself as a professional speaker and stuff. There's a National Speakers Association platform and stuff that we will connect and stuff through eSpeaker and stuff. And then you have recreational specific, platforms and stuff. Items like, scuba diving or photography. They'll have like their own chat groups or something, their own Yahoo groups or like their own Facebook groups or something like that. And basically what it is the drawing factor is the fact that everybody in there has a shared interest in, let's say, a particular sports team or a particular type of, like photography or, particular type of interest and stuff of that aspect. So I want you just to realize that there are a ton of social media type of sites out there. And the really awesome news is you do not have to be on all of them. It is, I really want you to kind of look at, as we go into, it's like, pick a social media site that you have an interest in. Pick a social media site that your connections also have an interest in. And the key element here is pick a social media site that you want to be active in. Myself personally, we are very active in Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram. Those are kind of our 5 key elements, of social medias that we stay very, very active in. Now, could we be active in a whole bunch of more? Absolutely, yes. Am I active in a whole bunch of more? No, because I kind of stay into the realm of where I know the majority of my customers, my clients are at, and that I enjoy interacting with them in and stuff. It is one of those. We'll take Pinterest, for example. I have a Pinterest account, but I never use it. It is occasional I'll jump on there and stuff looking for like a recipe or something in there, sometimes looking for a cool image or something of that aspect of it. But I mean, it's not it's not in that social media realm where I'm going out there to basically looking for and building connections with and stuff. So, I really want you to kind of take a moment and think here is about, okay, what are the social media sites that you already enjoy working on and being active on, and where do you feel, where is your customers and clientele? Where do they hang out? What social media platforms do they hang out in and stuff? So, with that, let's talk about Facebook. And I'm not going to go into, creating a Facebook account or creating a Facebook business page or fan page, just because I think here in the year of 2016, just about everybody that wants a Facebook account or wants a Facebook fan page or business account, I think we all have one at the, by this time. I think, spending the time as far as how to create one is going to be a waste of time and stuff. So, as I told you, I look at my Facebook, and I'm very big on Facebook, but I look at my Facebook more of it's the personal side. Now, do I have a business page? Absolutely. And your Facebook business page is wonderful for running social media marketing campaigns. I really like the Facebook side of it because I can really dial in my demographics. I can really just kind of dial in my my numbers and stuff, and we actually get a higher rate of return running our social media marketing campaigns through Facebook than I do through anywhere else, including Google keyword searches and stuff. But as I said, if I'm going to, somebody connects with me on a Facebook page, we're connecting more because of a personal level. We may be doing business with each other, but I mean, think about it. Most people who who play around on Facebook and stuff, they don't want to get pitched to every day. They don't want to be constantly feel like they're getting pitched to, or they don't want to feel like they're constantly in a getting sold to and stuff. So, my recommended postings with Facebook is, one motivational, or at least one motivational. It is 9 times out of 10 how I start my day. Is part of my morning routine is I'll scroll through Facebook and I will go grab a motivational post and I will share it. And I kind of look at it this way. It's like most people, we deal with enough crap and drama and bad news in the course of a day. That's easy to find. I mean, it just, go, you can, I'm willing to say you could probably get up and walk 20 or 30 feet from wherever you are at right now, and you'll find somebody that wants to whine and complain and bitch about the day. It's easy to find bad news. But what I've noticed is people really get attracted towards motivational and towards good news and stuff. And I must, actually started posting a Monday motivational through our Facebook or our fan page or our business page. And the ironic thing is man, that really helped people share my page, and other people would like my page just because they liked getting that motivational stuff. And so, and then also, and also in the course of the normal, dealing with the fan page and stuff, is that they would also see, our business postings and stuff too. So that's what I say is I love the motivational side. It really helps you grow your organic growth. And then, on top of the sometimes I'll do 2 motivational posts a day. It just kind of depends on what I find. And then also do like 1 to 2 personal types of posts. This stuff is going on in my own personal interest or my own family and stuff. I may share a success that I've had at the gym, or I may share, hey, a really great, or I may do a check-in that, a really great restaurant, something like that. I'm going to share, as I tell people, my Facebook is for basically to kind of get a window view of my personal life. And then also through the course of the day, I'm going to share 1 professional success. And this is and I want you to see that this is a non-salesy type of posting and stuff. But, this is going to be something like, if it's a, like my real estate team is going to be a just listed or just sold or under contract picture. Or, a lot of times too, it's like I'll take a photo of like our home inspector that's out working and stuff, and hey, I'm really glad that we're teamed up with some really great professionals in the industry and stuff. Basically, what I'm doing, it's a really non-threatening, easy, non-threatening way of me basically kind of gently reminding people, hey, this is also what I do professionally. Now, your business fan page, as I said, I love the motivationals. I mean, it'll actually help you people share and like, and you'll build your fan base organically, wonderfully in that aspect. And then also, sharing success, but our professional successes and stuff. Most industries, this is going to be a great place for you to run your social media advertising. As I always tell people, it's like, when you're doing a social media advertising, you want to use what's referred to as a splash page. And what a splash page is it gets people out of the Facebook world, it gets them into your website, is all what a splash page is. It's the industry jargon and stuff. It is, I never want to boost a post, and I always tell people, it's like, if you're boosting a post, in Facebook and stuff, you're wasting money. Go through Facebook Ad Manager and stuff. But, I never want to just boost a post that keeps people in the Facebook world, because then what you're going to experience is, yeah, you're going to get a handful of people likes, you may get a couple of people comments and stuff, but you have no way to capture their, the information of the people that are interested in stuff. And then another aspect is connect with groups. Within the Facebook arena and stuff, it seems like you have all sorts of different types of groups, homeowners association groups, industry-specific groups. You have recreational types of groups and stuff. It's one of the things I've noticed within the Facebook world is they have all sorts of different variety of types of groups that you can connect with. And then once again, these are all aspects of where you can build connections. You can kind of build a connection with somebody. And then through that leads into what you do professionally. So let's talk about LinkedIn. Now we're going to go into more of the professional side, the professional manner. So, once again, I love sharing motivational stuff. It is even through my LinkedIn. As I said, it's really easy for people to go find crap and bad news and, the whiners of the world. But it seems like the more that we share motivational and we share good news and we share positive, it seems like that's going to be the more people that get attracted to us and stuff. I mean, think of a networking get together or business function and stuff. If you have somebody sitting in the corner crossing their arms, bitching about every little thing that's going horrible, or how the election process, or whatever flavor of crap that we want for the day and stuff, very few people are going to go talk to them. As a matter of fact, most people that want to go talk to them are going to be the ones going to want to sit there and hang out in the negativity and stuff. But if you have somebody in there that's very upbeat and they're positive and they're energetic, well, guess what? And those people just naturally attract people to them and stuff. So I see this very often. The same thing happens in the social media world. So in LinkedIn, I also want to share my business successes and stuff. As I said, this is more the professional side. We're going to be sharing a lot more of our business successes and what's going on business-wise. And then the other aspect that I'm noticing too within the LinkedIn world and the business community world, and kind of as our business culture has shifted, as we're seeing more and more what I'm seeing with a huge shift culturally wise is people want to do business with those that are involved in the community and really big on community support. It's almost like that we're putting, there's a segment of America today that wants to be more, they want to do business with somebody that they know is doing, is helping out the community, is helping out the business and stuff. They're not just in business for the almighty dollar. They're actually in business to help, to help jobs, help the community, help do stuff, help with outreach and stuff. So LinkedIn is wonderful within that, because you can put in there all of your community involvement, and then also share with that, kind of talk about what you're doing, stuff that you're doing within the community and stuff. Once again, LinkedIn, really great for groups. I see a lot of powerful, a lot of industry-specific groups. Key area, another thing with LinkedIn, is I want you to publish articles. Somebody asked me, I was like, what's the difference between a blog and an article? Honestly, if there is a difference, I don't know. We used to call them blogs back in the days. Now that's no longer the sexy word and stuff. Now it's articles and stuff. But publishing articles within LinkedIn will help you create a following and stuff. And the cool thing is each one of your connections and stuff, they're going to see that you published it, and especially if they like it or they share something like that, well, that goes out to their network, their connections and stuff, which will basically, it just basically helps you reach out even further and stuff. So types of motivational posters, you hear me kind of really hitting on that quite a bit and stuff today. So in here you see on your screen and stuff is a handful of the screenshots and stuff of what I grabbed for my types of motivational stuff. And there, you'll notice that I use pictures And kind of what I discovered is, okay, I can use text, but, think about it. Okay, as I'm in the morning and stuff, and I'm kind of scrolling through my phone, and, I'm scrolling through my phone, and I'm just kind of looking like text, 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 and all of a sudden I'll see a cool picture, and that will stop me. Well, that's why I use motivational types of postings and stuff that are pictures and stuff, because a lot of people will kind of scroll through, and I think especially in Facebook when you see how many people will share this, or how many people will say how we first met, or all that other bullshit. I think a lot of us get really kind of tired of that, but we see a picture or something like that that grabs our attention, we'll stop. And so that's one of the biggest reasons I use pictures and stuff, and within my motivational postings. Now let's talk a little bit about YouTube. Let's talk about videos and stuff. Videos are becoming the norm in social media. If we think about it, think about how this all kind of happened and stuff. It used to be Snapchat was where you did your quick little, I think 6-second videos and stuff. And it was kind of laughed at because, I mean, for the most part, just from what I was seeing, from what I was hearing, it was mostly kids and mostly drunk college girls were using Snapchat. Well, then all of a sudden we started seeing a little bit more happening Snapchat in the business world. Well, then what happened is now we had Periscope all of a sudden took off. And then, Periscope actually started hitting big and stuff. Now you got Facebook Live, you got Instagram Live, and I actually discovered this the other day. Now you even have YouTube Live and stuff. Videos are absolutely becoming the norm within our social media marketing and stuff. People like videos. I'll give you a little hint and stuff. This is kind of outside the realm of social media, but this is something that we utilize a lot within my own personal team, is we use videos with text messaging. And, the reason, why do we use videos and stuff? Well, it gives somebody a chance to see us. So it helps build a relationship. It builds some commonality, and people trust what they see. Basically what I've done is I'll take my follow-up off of a screen, words on a screen, to all of a sudden my follow-up is me chatting with them, me talking to them and stuff. It helps build that connection. It helps build that relationship. And especially if I'm meeting with somebody for the very first time, it used to be where we would email them a picture of, we would email them a picture of who they're going to meet with and stuff. Well, now when we do our confirmation call, we don't even do a confirmation call, we do a confirmation text, and in that confirmation text is a video saying, hey, I'm looking so forward to seeing you tomorrow. Just want to confirm it's at the Starbucks tomorrow at 1 o'clock in Lakewood, just south of 512 on South Tacoma Way on the right-hand side. If you hit the 7-Eleven, you've gone just too far. It just, what it does is so that way when somebody comes in to meet with me and stuff, they've already know what I look like. It's not that awkward. We're looking around going, okay, are you looking for somebody? I'm looking for somebody. What is your name? Well, my name is. So, I mean, videos are becoming more and more of the norm. And the cool thing is, I remember, a handful of years ago, in order to do decent video and sound quality, it would cost you at least a couple $1,000s just to get your foot into the door with the equipment. Now it's a couple $100 to get your foot in the door with the equipment and stuff. So, for those of you that say, oh, well, I don't want to be on video, I don't want people to see what I look like. Well, trust me, if they're meeting with you, they're going to see what you look like anyway. So get more and more comfortable with videos and stuff. So what's the whole point of social media? Well, absolutely, and this is where I differ from the other gurus out there, because they want you to, they feel that the whole point of social media is how many likes do you get, or how many shares do you get, or how many retweets do you get, or how many of that other crap. Well, to me, that's all crap. What's the whole point of social media? The whole point of social media is to build connections. I've got a good friend of mine in the real estate world and stuff. I mean, he is capped out on his Facebook connections. I mean, I think it's like 5,000 is the cap and stuff. He's got 5,000 friends, and he thinks he does so great. But you know what? There's only a handful of people on there that he'd actually recognize. And his attitude is like, well, when I share a post, I'm like, well, the ironic thing is because of the Facebook algorithms and stuff, if you're not interacting with somebody, you're not showing up on their feed and stuff. It's just the way that Facebook algorithms are. Facebook has they realize that they are in business to help people build connections. They're in the business to help people stay in touch. So, this is how you keep the relationships growing. This is how you really do some awesome thing as far as working within your follow-up strategies and stuff of that aspect. The whole point of social media is not for you to look at this as another avenue of basically to pitch your crap or, shovel your sales pitch down people's throats and stuff. The whole point of social media is for you to basically learn how to go out there and build connections and stay connected with people. So, how to grow your business with social media? Well, you have to remember you're out there to create a relationship. You're wanting to build a community. The really awesome thing for social media is it allows you to do follow-up. It really allows you to stay connected with what's going on in people's lives, so you know when to follow up. You know how to follow up. When I work with people one-on-one and stuff, a lot of times the first thing they want to talk about is lead generation. And the ironic thing is that for most people out there actually do a pretty decent job of lead generation. They just do a really crappy job of follow-up. Well, if they utilize social media, now they, if just staying connected with somebody, now they have a reason. Now when they follow up with them, they have a reason. There's something that they can follow up with them on of, hey, I see the success that you've had with this promotion that you've had at work, or congratulations on the new baby or the new grandbaby or something of that aspect. Now you're following up with them on a personal level. You're not following up with them going, hey, let's talk about you renewing your policy. Let's talk about your next move or something of that aspect. And within social media, that allows you to look for other business opportunities. And the biggest thing is this kind of really led into with what we do with our real estate team is, we approach every client and every customer with that of a servant's heart. How do we take care of you? And the ironic thing is sometimes that means that I look at people and say, now is not the time for you to buy, or now is not the time for you to sell. But if we lead it with the servant's heart, we lead it within that aspect, man, that is somebody that you've now crossed over from what they consider to be a salesperson to now you're an advisor. You're there with their best interest at heart and stuff. So I want you to really look into, when you build your social media, it's like, how do I build relationships? How do I stay connected with these people? It's not about how many connections I can have, or how many hearts, or how many retweets, or how many likes, or any of that other crap. It's like, how many people can I build a connection with? So, what are the best sites? As I said, which ones do you use? Which ones do which ones do you have the apps on your phone and stuff? Which ones do you see? Which ones do you jump on a regular basis? And then the other aspect is, which sites are your customers on? Which sites do your customers like to play in and stuff? If you have a high enough percentage of them in a particular, on a particular social media site, maybe you should be looking a little bit closer, like, how do I interface with that site? Which ones do you feel the most comfortable using? Pick the one, as I tell people, it's like, okay, when it comes to social media and stuff, don't say, okay, I'm going to jump into all of them all at once. You will overwhelm yourself and you will burn yourself out. Literally, it's like, okay, it's like, with us and stuff, I kind of sat there and said, okay, we're going to really dial in Facebook. We're going to go really in depth with Facebook. We're going to build our lists. We're going to build our groups and stuff. We're going to get really super dialed in with Facebook. And I spent about a week to 10 days just really getting intentional with Facebook and stuff. And then from there, I think I went to LinkedIn next. And I spent about a week to 10 days just really getting everything perfected with LinkedIn stuff, getting our profile to what's that all-star rated profile, all-star rating and stuff, which basically makes you the best searchable and stuff. And then from there, I think I went into either Twitter or YouTube, and the other one, and then I think we finally we capped out with Instagram and stuff. And it just it is pick one and get dialed in with it and move into the next one. And keep in mind, as I said, we're very active in 5. That most people, they don't need to be active in 5. 2, maybe 3 is where most people hang out at and stuff. I think it's just because of the range of customers and clients that we serve, and the types of business that we do and stuff is really the biggest reason why we're on multiple platforms and stuff. So social media fails. using an automated system to push the same message across all the platforms. This is normally where I get people pushing back on me. This is normally where I piss people off because everybody, there's a handful of people out there, they love Hootsuite and they love a handful of the other ones and stuff, to where it makes it really simple and really stupid, in my opinion, that you can basically what they do is they take the same message and they push it across all these other different platforms and stuff out there. I actually kind of butted heads one time with somebody in the fitness industry and stuff. And because it's like, well, it's great. It pushes my Instagram, it pushes my Facebook, and it pushes it to everywhere I want it to push out. It's easy and it's simple. Well, normally in social media, if something's easy and simple, it means it's not very effective. And I asked him, it's like, okay, well, hey, who's your typical person on Instagram? Well, your high school athletes and stuff like that. Okay, great. Well, who's your typical person on Facebook? Your middle-aged 40-year-old people that just basically want to lose weight and stuff. I said, okay, perfect. Would you come to the same marketing message with a high school athlete that's trying to get a college scholarship as that of somebody in their 40s that basically just wants to hurt less? No, obviously not. Well, why are you pushing the same message through your social media? What you're basically doing is you're kind of alienating and you're kind of, irritating, a section of people and stuff. What happens with that is when you alienate and you irritate people enough, they unfollow you, they unlike you, they block you, or in certain situations with a couple of people in our Facebook world is we flat out banned them to where they could not see us and they could not interact with us anymore. So I mean that's why I say it's like you don't need to be on every single platform out there, and for the do we now at certain times do we push the exact same message out on every platform? Sometimes, very rarely, yes, but we always tweak them just a little bit different. And the reason is because I understand that somebody on Instagram is going to be more of an international person, or somebody in the teens to the average person is going to be somewhere in their teens to their 20s. So how I'm going to communicate with that person is going to be different than how I'm going to communicate with somebody that's on Facebook, which is more of that that Gen X, Gen Y, and baby boomer stage is going to be more in that Facebook arena and stuff. The other huge social media fail is not building connections, not interacting with people. If you have somebody that reach out, literally, it's kind of my policy and stuff. Is when somebody interacts with me on social media, I interact with them back. It is. Think about it. When was the last time that you reached out to somebody, you said you posted something, or you say, oh man, I love that, and then you never heard anything back from that person. It's kind of like, oh, they don't like me. Well, your customers feel the same way. And, think of it, when you respond to a friend's picture or something like that, and they say, oh yeah, it's great, we need to get together next time. Man, all of a sudden you're like, hey, they like me. There's some interaction there. The other aspect is buying followers, likes, and retweets, and all that other type of garbage. This kind, everybody that I talk to that have bought, Twitter or Instagram followers, for those that have been honest with me about it, they actually did buy it, and it's they told me it's like we would never do it again. And ironically, it's the way that they used to, the way that these companies, because and I'll be honest with you, I looked very closely for our Twitter account of buying followers. And these companies, what they're doing is that they're pitching to you in the concept of what's referred to as social proofing. If you have 1,000 or 10,000 or 50,000 followers, well, that just tells anybody that pulls you out that, hey, you have a lot of followers, you have a lot of people that like you. It's social proofing and stuff. Well, the general public has become really, really aware of this, and they realized that a lot of that was crap. And so, it's like, they would, so I mean, they could easily go through and say, oh, who are some of the followers and stuff? Well, hey, these are all people that, they're just blank accounts and stuff. They don't do anything and stuff. They swiped their credit card. They bought their followers and stuff. And so what you've done, if you've gone from social proofing to you've gone to a social fail. Another aspect is what I refer to as mass friending. I see this happen on Facebook where somebody, and and I hate to have this on the slide and stuff, but it still happens enough, or I still hear about it happening enough to where it still irks people. And it is where, okay, I become a friend with somebody and then I go to their friends list and I friend request everybody on their friend requests and stuff. And this is kind of like how this individual, this other realtor and stuff built up 5,000 friends and stuff, was he just basically, he mass friended everybody. And it almost felt a little stalkerish. Now, does that mean that I have to know somebody to send them a friend request? Ironically, not all the time. I actually just did this either yesterday or 2 days ago. Was interacting with another one of my friend on Facebook and stuff, and I saw somebody that posted something on them, so I pulled up, it turned out to be her profile and stuff. She's over in the Midwest region and stuff. Kind of read a handful of her things there and stuff. I said, she's a cool person. She's somebody that I would be friends with in real life anyways and stuff. So I sent her a personal message and said, hey, I'm sending you a friend request. We don't know each other, but, we both know this person. You look like a cool person. You look like somebody I'd get along with anyways and stuff. So, I like the gist of your post. So, check my stuff out. If you think we make good social media friends and stuff, accept my friend request. And she did. Will I ever meet this person, live and in person? Maybe, maybe not. But it was kind of like one of those, I could just kind of feel, it was one of those. I liked her social interaction stuff. I liked the positivity message she was putting out there and stuff. It's somebody that I wanted to kind of have in my sphere. And then the other social media fail is using content not suitable for sites. I see this happen a lot in the LinkedIn world, where people will start sharing, what's going on in their personal life. I see a lot of pushback with that in the LinkedIn world, to where basically, because it's more, people are a little more direct in the LinkedIn world than I saw in the Facebook world and stuff, where they'll really bluntly point out that, hey, this is this site is for professionals. This is not Facebook. Anytime you hear a pause and stuff, it's just it's not a break in our internet or anything like that. 9 times out of 10, it is just me taking a quick drink of water and stuff. So, one thing I want you to remember when it comes to your business is success is never owned. It is rented, and the rent is due daily. What you did last week, yesterday, or last month that was successful does not guarantee your success for tomorrow, next week, or next month. You've got to basically take daily actions to achieve and keep success. The greatest sports teams out there train regularly to achieve success. I've been using the football analogy quite a bit and stuff. I think last week I used an Olympics analogy, once or twice. But if you think about it, your top professional sports teams, they don't just wake up one day and go, oh, hey, we got a game tonight. We better make sure we get to the stadium on time. They train all the way up, leading up to game day. They train for their performance and stuff. Well, those of us in the sales world or the business world or the entrepreneurial world, we are very much the same. We have to train, because the last place you want to train is actually in front of your customer, your prospect and stuff. You want to show 100% of the time with your A game on. Every top producer out there, performer in your industry, they have a coach, they have a mentor, and that along with a game plan so they can stay focused and stay on top of the game. I tell people every day, the number one investment you can make is in yourself. If you are not making 7 figures a year, your number one investment needs to absolutely be in yourself so that you can make that 7 figures a year. So, apologize for those of you that are eating lunch and stuff, but this is one of my most favorite pictures out there that points out the fact. I tell people, it's like, are you committed or are you interested? So often people will tell me, it's like, Greg, I wish I had your energy level, or Greg, I wish I had your business level. I wish I had this. I'm like, okay, well, if you truly want it, this is what it takes. And all of a sudden they realize, oh, well, maybe I don't want it that bad. Maybe I was just interested in it, but I'm not committed in it. And a very good friend of mine, she was a ballerina growing up. She then became a ballerina mom, and now her daughters are there in the ballerina world and stuff. And so I love this picture because it proves that analogy perfectly. And what that is we've all seen the professional dancers or the ballerinas, how they gracefully flow. It almost looks like as they float and they glide across the stage. And how it looks effortless and almost just perfect, and just, I mean, as I said, it's almost like they flow, they float in and off, and they do their moves perfectly. Well, what I didn't know about this until I was talking to my friend that was the ballerina mom was these dancers will spend a decade plus training, dancing, working, the commitment level to of putting their bodies through just this harsh, abuse, so that maybe, hopefully, they'll potentially have the opportunity to perform on a stage, on a big name stage. And so we all see the ballerina, we all see the dancer with the shoe on the right, the picture perfect, the effortless, just flowing and gliding along the stage beautifully without flaws. What we don't see is the ballerina foot on the left that shows the time and the effort and the struggle and the commitment to basically to really perfect their craft. Their craft of dancing. Just like they have their craft of dancing, we have our craft of sales and our craft of business development and our craft of being the absolute stellar and A plus and 100% in charge of our game and the top dog and stuff. That is the difference between being interested or committed. It is everybody that's a top producer, everybody that's a top earner and a top winner within their office or their industry. They study and they work on their craft of their business daily. So I want you to understand the business builder's game. Sometimes I'll get people get really upset at me because they're like, hey, my business is not a game. And I get that. I understand that. I understand that, hey, your business is, how you provide a roof over your head. It's how you put food on the table. It's how you provide for your family. I get that 100%. Remember, when I told you, I'm also a small business owner. I'm also right there alongside with you. Absolutely. I don't have that luxury of getting up and playing on Facebook all day, and as long as I happen to be in my office, I get a base salary. I don't have that luxury, and I don't want, some people call that a luxury. I call that, I call that a pit trap and stuff. I absolutely want to be out there where, I have the opportunity where I can make $0 an hour. I can have the opportunity where I can make thousands of dollars an hour. And so that, when I use the analogy of the game, it's, I'm using the analogy of how do you strategically work your day and work your business life and stuff so that you get the best return and stuff. So, every single one of us in the course of our professional days and stuff, we have certain activities, and those activities, they may lead into leads, they may lead into time waster and stuff, and we all have that choice of what activities we're going to do for that day. We do the proper activities, we get what's called leads, and leads are basically people that say, hey, I'm kind of interested in your product or your service. They're not customers yet. They're not clients yet. They're leads. We talk about this a lot in lead generation and stuff. Well, out of those leads, if we cultivate them, we build enough of a relationship, we'll get an appointment with them. Now, anybody out there that 100% of the time all their appointments are, once 100% of their appointments made, that they conduct those appointments, can I get a raise? Can I get a virtual raise of the hand out there and stuff that, you make an appointment with somebody, 100% of the time you meet with that person. Anybody that has their hand raised out there, your brand spanking new to the sales world, and trust me, somebody's going to stand you up sooner or later. Life gets in the way, stuff happens. There's a couple of techniques and stuff that we talk about, that we train about in the appointment, how to really tie in that appointment. And one of those aspects is I'll ask somebody, it's like, okay, hey, I need you to look at your calendar right now, right this second. Is there anything in your calendar you can see where you wouldn't be able to make this appointment? What I'm doing is I'm really helping kind of tie in that, that appointment and stuff. It's one of the best techniques I've discovered out there and stuff. But, a lot of times stuff happens, things come up, or worse yet, somebody blows you off. They have no intention of using your product or your service, but instead of telling you that they're not, that they have no intentions of it, they just blow you off because it feels more comfortable for them to blow you off than to be honest with you. When ironically, most of us in the profession that we do, we would actually prefer somebody telling us point blank up front, like, hey, I'm not going to, I'm not going to utilize your company, your product or service. I'm not going, I'm not going to wait, let's not to waste each other's time and stuff. So I mean, so your appointments made, it's like how many of those appointments are actually conducted? Well, from your appointments conducted and stuff, that's where you start pulling your clients from. That's where you start pulling your customers from. And not 100% of the time that you meet with somebody are they going to be a proper client for you. As a matter of fact, I want your business to be so successful that you don't need to take on every single client that walks through your door. I want your client to be, I want your business to be so successful that you can pick and choose who your clients are and who, and more importantly, who you choose not to work with. So from our clients is where we get contracts and stuff. And from our contracts is actually how we get paid. So what are your numbers? When somebody says like, hey, I want to make X amount of dollars per year. Well, great. Out of what's your average revenue per contract? So out of your average revenue per contract, how many clients do you need, how many of those contracts do you need to get? Well, out of those amount of contracts, how many clients do you need to get? Do all clients work into actual paying customers and, close transactions and deals? No. In real estate world, not every buyer buys, not every listing sells. In the insurance world, not every insurance application you take will actually go to issuing a policy. It's like, what are your numbers and stuff? So how many clients do you need? Well, to get those amount of clients, how many appointments do you need to conduct? Well, to conduct X amount of appointments, how many appointments do you need to make? And in order to make those amount of appointments, how many leads do you need to get? How many leads do you need to generate? And from there, what type of activities do you need to do to help generate those leads? So I wanted to kind of like screenshot this or take a picture with your cell phone or as I said, it's like as long as technology works with us and stuff, we'll be uploading this into our YouTube channel and stuff. But I really want you to look at this and really look into what are my numbers? How do I build my day so that I know that I'm hitting my numbers correctly? All right. Last thing I do every day is I do a little bit of daily planning and reflection. I deal in the realities. I cut out the crap. I look at, I look at the activities of what I did in the last 12 or 18 hours and stuff, and I ask myself point blank, it's like, would I hire myself or would I fire myself on today's activities? Now, does this mean that I absolutely win 100% of the days? I win 7 out of 7 days? I wish I could tell you that, but in all transparency, I don't. Do I win the majority of the days? Absolutely. But do I have days where, there's something that, there was a presentation that I screwed up on? Yeah, it happens. The last time that it happened, it cost me 12 grand and, the deal went someplace else. Did that piss me off? Absolutely. Did it hurt? Absolutely. Did I sit there and say, oh, woe is me, pissy, sucky on the client and stuff. They should have gone with me. They were wrong, da-da-da-da. No, because why? Because that doesn't build me. That I don't grow from that. I sit there and go, okay, where did I screw up at? So that next time I'm in that type of presentation, next time I'm doing that, I realize, next time I'm in that type, that type of presentation, I know how to come at it at a different angle. I know what to do correctly. It just, I know how not to screw it up next time and stuff. So I want you honestly to deal with realities, cut out the crap, and look at truly, are you operating the highest and best use of your time? As I say, going back, would in the last 12 or 18 hours, would you hire yourself or would you fire yourself? So talk a little bit about our advanced next level training and stuff, our 90-day business accelerator boot camp. What this is all about you and accelerating your business and growing your business. My whole goal and my whole intention is for those of you that decide to join me in this 90-day experience is that we absolutely fast track and we kick your business up into the next level. Doesn't matter what type of product or service that you sell or you're involved in the business of. If you are responsible for generating your leads, if you're in an aspect of where 100% of your business or your income correction comes from the business you generate, or you're basically provided like a base salary or something like that, but the majority of your income is done through commissions and overrides and items of that aspect, then this type of training is absolutely for you. We're going to get really, really in depth on generating leads, and more importantly, once you generate those leads, how to follow up with those leads. Have you ever experienced what it feels like to generate a lead, cultivate a lead, or what you felt like is cultivating a lead, maybe even have a meeting or two with that lead, and then kind of get sidetracked or get busy with something else, and then when you get back over here to looking at them, realize that they have already purchased your product or service, but they purchased it through somebody else. If that doesn't piss you off, it should. I mean, lead generating is nothing more than crap if you don't know how to convert those leads into paying clients or customers. So we're going to spend 90 days of hardcore in-depth training on how to generate those leads, how to really get your social media tweaked in and really just get your activities dialed in, how to identify and look for those referral sources, how to utilize closing techniques, and what type of closing techniques and when to use closing techniques. We're going to get in and talk about your phone skills and stuff and how to generate money with your use of the telephone. One of my buyer's agents and stuff was telling me, he's like, oh, I hate the phone. And I couldn't believe it. She's like, she told me, like, if I could, I would do everything through texting. And so don't get me wrong, we do a lot through texting and stuff, but we generate millions and millions and millions of dollars year in and year out of real estate transactions purely off of our phones. And we generate over $500,000 a year in revenue in our training company purely off of our phones and stuff. Your phone skills, you have to get them dialed in. We'll talk about your follow-up systems. We'll help you build a follow-up system strategy to where it takes you out of the equation of having to make sure it happens and stuff. And so that way you're staying in contact with those leads, you're staying in contact with those prospects and stuff, and you're working them through that sales funnel. You're working them through that game of getting them ready to go from the leads to appointments and stuff. So a bonus session is, as many of you know, I'm very big on health and wellness and stuff. Bonus session, we're going to talk about, your health and wellness. We're going to talk about weight management. We're going to talk about living in optimum health. We're going to talk about getting your energy management. It's one of those, I tell people, it's like, if you're in the business of sales, or you're in the business of being self-employed, or you're in the business of being an entrepreneur, or if your position is one of those that you have a base salary, but the majority of your income is made through commissions and overrides, or basically you're in a position where you are paid on your performance. You're not paid for just showing up. You're paid on your performance. We're very similar in that aspect of that of a professional athlete. And that professional athlete, when they show up and it's game day, they have to have their game face on. They have to have their energy in check. They have to be able to push through everything that comes up. You don't see, we're finishing off the playoff weeks and stuff. This is kind of where the players are. This is their last chance to make the team, or they get cut. For those players that they can only push for a quarter instead of the full 4, they get cut. Just like in your sales world or your business world, if you can only push for a quarter of your day, you're going to get cut. The ironic thing is about sales is you never really truly get fired in this type of industry. Your phone just stops ringing. And if your energy is out, if your energy is out of check, if your wellness is out of check, then sooner or later your income's going to be out of check. So each week we're going to meet very much just like this, virtually on a live webinar. It's not recorded. This is pure live webinar and stuff for anywhere from about 1 to 2 hours. We're going to go really in depth. We're going to go in depth with several of these topics and stuff, and we're going to have a question and answer. I'm going to stay alive for as long as I'm going to make sure we have all of our questions answered. On top of that, we're going to have a private Facebook group that's going to be just for the bootcamp members. Once again, this is going to be answering all your questions, networking. This is going to be great ways to mastermind. I'm going to tell you what, my best growth relationships have come 100% from masterminds just like this. Every week, there's going to be weekly action items. This is boot camp style training. For those of you that don't know, I'm an Army vet. This is the best way that I know how to get training done. I don't believe in training on theory and bullshit. I believe on basically saying, okay, let's train in the real life world. Let's let's get some accountability out there and stuff. I'm going to match you up with somebody that's in a similar type of industry that may be in your that's probably going to be somewhere separate from the U.S. than where you're at and stuff. And the reason is because it's going to help hold you accountable and stuff. Execution is the heartbeat of your business 100%, and the second it stops, your business will die. There's the old analogy in the business world. It's like, a business is just like a plant. The second it stops growing, it starts dying. So, the ironic thing is we live in this crazy world where people go get themselves hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt, plus spend 4 years plus of their lives to get this an education so that they can go become tops in the world and perform in a profession to where they can get highly compensated. And the ironic thing is in all those hundreds of thousands of dollars of debt and this 4+ years of education, very rarely will they ever learn anything about business generating, promoting, marketing, lead generation, or anything what I refer to as creating noise to go get themselves the clients so that they can actually perform this, the service that they've been trained to provide so they can get compensated so they can, pay back their or recoup what they've invested in their higher degree education. I find that ironic as hell. A lot of times my dentists or my chiropractors or my CPAs, they'll go through all this massive, insane training, and yet they never learn how to actually promote and build a business. Well, for an extremely small amount of money, you'll learn the necessary skills along plus with get the coaching and how to create a business marketing plan that will help you generate 7+ figures a year. So this 90-day boot camp is depth hardcore coaching plus interaction inside Facebook and along with direct access to me. If you were to reach out to me for one-on-one, in-depth, personalized training like this, or to really any other type of high-level coach or trainer out there, easily you'd be looking at $60,000. For this degree of in-depth training and stuff, you would easily be looking at $60,000. Well, guess what? I'm not charging you $60,000, not even charging $6,000 for this training. You go on our website, the 90-Day Business Accelerator Bootcamp, regularly is $14.97, just under $1,500, and it's worth every single bit of it. This is the exact same style of training that I utilize for my own team, for my own customers, for my own clients, and I've seen this have explosive growth with multiple industries out there and stuff. So, but I always like those that take action. We're actually running a promotion and stuff that, while we're doing our free webinars, we're doing our trainings and stuff, that you can get the entire program for $9.97. So with that, obviously, anybody that's done business with me before, that I like having a money-back guarantee. I am more committed towards, our performance and stuff. Just like my real estate business and my coaching business, we back up our actions with our performance guarantees. And what that is within 30 days of our last training sessions, and you have done the work. Now, what I mean by the work is you've attended each session. You've completed and shown that you've done all the homework and action steps in the weekly commitments, and if you've done the work, and you feel this program is not worth every penny, well, I will refund the full amount, and you get to keep the content. Period. As I said, this is the same training that I use in my real estate team. This is the same style of training that my own customers and have. That we brought into multiple different types of industries and stuff for our clients out there and stuff. So, promise with 100% certainty, they'll be the best investment that you ever made in your career. Our next boot camp starts Wednesday, September 7th, 2016, 10 a.m., very much in the same type of setting that you will see here. We'll meet virtually on our webinars and stuff. So, think about that, $9.97. What does that do? That breaks down to about $11 per day. So, if you decide to pack your lunch every day for the next 90 days, together that savings alone will have covered the training. So how do you register? Well, you register, go to gregttrainings.com, click on products, look for the buy now button, and we've already adjusted the price down to the $9.97 for you and stuff. So with that, let me go and open back up my wide screen here. I'm going to go take a look at our chat questions and take a quick swig of water. Alrighty, let me take a look here. Some of the questions we had come in. My company tells me that we cannot have a Facebook page. I'm going to assume you're probably in the financial services, the financial world and stuff. If your compliance tells you you cannot have a Facebook page, then what am I going to recommend? I'm going to recommend that that you comply with your compliance department. They're the ones that are basically writing they're writing your paycheck. You want to make sure you play in their rules and their guidelines and stuff. So, but I would also talk to them like, how do you work within social media? And I would, and sometimes people, I see this a lot in the financial services world where people say, well, my compliance says I can't have a Facebook page. And what they're basically doing is they're copying out. 9 times out of 10, your compliance is actually okay with you having a Facebook page. And a very good friend of mine, she's a stock trader, stockbroker, financial advisor. She works in all sorts of different investments and stuff. And she has probably one of the more active Facebook pages I see out there. But her Facebook page is all about what she's doing personally. And everybody that's a Facebook connection on her, a friend of hers, they know her personally. And her attitude is basically, okay, if somebody's connected with me on Facebook, they're obviously friends of mine. They're obviously we're obviously friends. We're obviously connected. We're friends of some sort. And they obviously know what I do for a living. So I don't think I've ever seen her post anything about what's going on in the market, anything of that aspect, because, her attitude is Facebook is, once again, as we talk about, it's the personal side, it's the connection side, so, she's absolutely awesome in that aspect. Next step. How much time do I spend on social media? You know what? I honestly don't spend as much time as most people think. I'll kind of catch up social media stuff in the course of my day. Facebook is probably where I play in the most. LinkedIn, I play with in about once or twice a day, stuff of that aspect. But I probably spend less than an hour a day, even if that. And Twitter, honestly, God, it's like, Twitter, it's like, I spend Twitter in like 10-second increments and stuff. It is, it really truly is once you kind of pick your target, social media sites that you want to play in and stuff, it really truly is, it really truly is not that time sensitive, or, time commitment. The areas and stuff where I see a lot of people that will spend, they'll get into what I call the time wasters and stuff. And that's somebody that will spend, all day on Facebook and stuff. That's the time wasters. You don't want to fall into that aspect. Great questions we have coming in. Do I write do I do all my own postings, or does somebody do it for me? You know what? There are people out there, there are groups out there, there are companies out there that they will take over your social media and they will handle all your postings for you. They'll handle all your shares for you. I'm not a big fan of that. And I think I probably may have to put that into like what I refer to as a social media fail. And the reason I'm not a big fan of that is because, the social media, it's me connecting with somebody else. And I personally feel that I can do a better job of connecting myself with somebody than I can by trusting somebody that has never met me or never met the person connecting with them and stuff. So, 100% of all my postings come from me. 100% of all my tweets come from me. 100% of everything that I do social media actually comes by me. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's a bad thing. It depends on the mood I'm in and stuff. See here. Can I make payments on the trading? Absolutely. We can do 3 monthly payments. I think 333 for the training and stuff. Just send us a message, because we'll have to basically send you an invoice and stuff, kind of get it lined up that way and stuff. What other trainings do we have coming up? Great question. Tomorrow, I think, what is tomorrow? Steps in closing the sale. Yeah, steps in closing the sale is tomorrow. It's another free webinar and stuff. On top of that, we're going to also start doing some training programs and stuff that's going to be a lot more in-depth about that 2-hour range and stuff. Monthly sessions, kind of, we're playing around with that concept right now, but dealing stuff with like lead generation, follow up, stuff of that aspect and stuff. We're getting a lot of requests to win with that aspect and stuff. So let's take a look here. Let's see those questions we answered. What are the best social media sites? Once again, it kind of goes back into where do you feel most comfortable, interacting at? What do you feel, where's your customers going to be at and stuff? So, all right. So, any other questions coming in? Nope, that looks like we got all the questions. So obviously, if we didn't answer any of your questions, feel free to reach back out through us. You can send us a message through our website and stuff. You can email me at gregttrainings.com. And with that, as I said, as long as technology worked with us today, we will be uploading today's webinar into our YouTube channel. Other than that, I look forward to seeing you guys the next time that we meet. And as always, go out and make it a great day.